what that means. It's time for another edition of our Monday night online open mic presented by the Bar Open Mic series. What's going on? My name is Richie. I'll be your host and MC, and we're coming to you from El Paso, Texas. That's right. We're live and alive in 915. Yo, yo. And this online show, we've been doing since April of 2020, nonstop. I haven't missed a Monday. So cheers to that. That means we have a whole community behind us, and you guys showed up tonight. There's a lot of people who have some stuff to share. Very exciting stuff. We have people from the El Paso region, people from all over the country, and people from all over the world. I'm happy to introduce everyone to you guys. So if you guys are in the live chat right now, waiting for this show to start, first of all, you're a real one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Make sure you're saying hello in the chat. Unlike an in-person show, the live mics, we don't know who the audience is, but if you're there in the chat, participating, leaving comments, leaving emojis, it's nice to know that there's someone listening. We love to interact. I know a lot of the other performers hang out in the live chat as well and interact with you guys. Unless you're heckling, then Kit's going to boot you. That happened last week. We don't need any of that. All right. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and like I said, we do this every Monday, but we do have in-person events in the El Paso area every week, right? This week, in fact, is going to be a unique one where we have an event every single night this week. Tuesdays, we're downtown El Paso. Tomorrow we'll be at Rosewood. Sign up starts at 8, show starts after 9. That's hosted by Dorimad. That's our Verse and Harmony one. That one's for the musicians and the writers. Speaking of writers, Wednesdays are for the writers as well. And we'll be doing our Storycraft at Crown of Crows. That's for all the storytellers and lovers of stories. If you want to come and share a piece, sign up for that. Starts at 6:30, and the first name will be drawn at 7. We try and draw at least 4 names per night. And of course, after you read, you get up to 15 minutes of feedback and Q&A with the audience. Of course, you don't have to read. You can just be part of the audience and listen in or give feedback. Thursday, we return to our Rally Point Coffee East. That's right, the East Side open mic, all the way out there, all the way out there. So that's hosted by our awesome friend Jez. She's an awesome singer-songwriter, does a great job with those nights, and that's going to be sign up starting at 7 p.m. Come on through. You can see Ed Gonzalez in person. That's always a treat. And then Friday, we have the debut of a new venue. That's right, Synaxis Coffee, also on the east side. New venue on Montwood. It's actually close to my spot. And Jez is going to be hosting a meet and greet with EP Take the Stage. That's our singer-songwriter collaboration that we do. It's going to be a potluck. So if you sing, if you're a singer-songwriter, you play an instrument, come meet some other musicians. We team up from time to time in that I usually lead a writing workshop for the musicians, and we kind of write, I give a prompt, musicians have like an hour to write, and then we come back together and people just kind of share what they worked on in that hour. So it's a unique kind of open mic in that way. But Synaxis is also our newest venue. The last Friday of the month, we are going to be having an open mic there as well. Sign up at 7, also hosted by Jez. Anyway, lots going on, guys. And as always, we're just on the cusp of expansion. We want to do more events elsewhere, like in Juarez, more in Las Cruces. But with that, we need manpower, So if anyone's always looking to help, volunteer, be part of the team, hit us up, BWOMS.com. There's a little spot there. You can leave a message, follow us on social media. But without further ado, I have spoken a lot. This is the part of the show where I speak the most. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to our awesome performers. And we're going to kick things off in Denver, as we've done many, many times before. Our very own Lighthouse of a Poet, always promoting poets. Lighthouse. We got Mike Sindler on the mic to kick it off. So, Mike, when you are ready, I will get you spotlighted on the screen. Spotlit. All right. And happy Monday. Take it away, Mike.
I'm all spotlit up. Great to be here, Richie. Great to be here with so many of my favorite poets. For all of you people out there in YouTube land, I will once again put up and then flip to doing it sort of the right way, I think. LighthouseWriters.org, which is a really cool thing. They've been offering some community related new stuff that's just incredibly interesting. I highly recommend going on there and checking out some of these new things. We do have a ton of people here, and I'm just going to do one piece and not even do a hat poem because there's just a bunch of people. So it's called Handful. This handful of soil holds the history of the earth. Mountains that rose from lava, shot up out of magma and met their match. Gentle drops and curling rivulets wearing away crystals borne by wind across expansive terrain. Tough ridge guardian rain surrounding new formed seas, blue depths in which first green grew, advancing onto land to thrust down roots, cracking fine fissures, burrowing up soil into blankets, adding its dead black composting remains. With each successive season, nutrient-drenched sod grows richer, more complex forms spiraling, progression out of DNA helixes. First cells of life appear and see amoeba after amoeba split burst into billions. Each clone of original organism coexists, combine, evolve into multicellular manifestations, germ to virus to mold to blossoming vegetative mutations, ride waves or fly or crawl to land. Phylum Ordo and Familia expand, amphibian, reptilian, mammalian, carbon footprints left turn to fossil as they decompose, becoming fodder for new growth, seed sailing on zephyr or excreted by migrating beast, invades, revises ecosystem, loam and dust mix into mud, grab flecks of fractile mineral, slide and flex between cracks over and under rock and rubble, flake that was once skin and bone and branch, flies across continents, rides over waves, mixes over aeons. No land abides that does not speak of other scapes, grove, jungle, desert, plain, and all is mixed, and all remains. Scoop up shallow clump of soil in your hand. You hold it all. The planet, the very stars, the original power that made it manifest. Gaze in wonder of interconnectedness. Did a triceratops turn into that leaf? Did Achilles' sandal spin across the stone from whence that speck of dust journeyed to arrive in your palm at this moment of exploration? Feel the weight of history in your hand, then toss the dirt high. Let the wind carry it. Let it fall back in new formations. Let history become the future. Let the future become history, handful by handful. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. Mike Sindler, always always ready to open the mic and kind of set the bar there. And always willing to shout out Lighthouse Writers, which is a great community organization. And the cool connection there actually is one of the co-founders of Barbed Wire Open Mic Series, Trent Hudley, is faculty at Lighthouse Writers. So that's a cool little connection there, along with Veronica Guajardo and Roberto Santos. Back around 2007, started these open mics as part of UTEP MFA program. Also, FYI, for those in El Paso, listen, this Sunday, I'm going to be a featured guest on Wars on the Wire. That's hosted by Daniel Chacon. He's the chair of the creative writing program at UTEP. We talk a little bit about barbed wire and community open mics and their importance and a bunch of other random stuff. So that's going to be this Sunday at noon if you guys are tuning in. But yeah, thank you, Mike, for always kicking it off. And I know we like to tout that here because of the magic of Zoom and the technology. We can go from instant to anywhere across the world. In this instance, our next performer is only a few miles away from Mike Sindler. That's right. Next up, we have David Latif on the mic. So, David, when you are ready, take it away. Happy Monday. Good to see you, my friend.
Awesome. Thanks a bunch. I'm gonna do some old shit, some new shit, and someone else's shit. Yesterday was, as we all know, the best holiday of the year, Discount Chocolate Day. I hope y'all went out and got some good shit. I did as well. I'm gonna read a poem about chocolate. It's called Emergency Chocolate. I kept a chocolate bar that was labeled emergency chocolate in the butter cubby of my mostly empty fridge. I didn't think I would need it. I had a bad day that I've had before when the pile of things I didn't do on all the other bad days crashed down onto me. And I swear that it'll never happen again, just like I did last week. I'll buy another chocolate bar. This next one is some new shit. It's hold on. Moving windows. There we go. This one was started at Kit Ren's lovely Against Love Poetry Tumblewords workshop. This one is called Anti-Universal. I've given up on concepts like normal and universal because what's normal for me isn't normal for you, and what's normal for you isn't normal for me, and what's normal for them, you get the point. And during my lifetime, people told me things that they said were universal, unshakable, but you so much as blow the dust off them, and they'd fall to pieces before your very eyes, like a trinket made entirely of iron oxide being smashed with a sledgehammer. Go look for universalities and you'll find differences. You can do your best to define your platonic ideals, and Diogenes will show up the next day with an upset chicken and a solid argument. Trying to find the universal is the application of if you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail to your entire worldview. The hero of a thousand faces was famous for inspiring Star Wars and infamous for taking a hammer to every culture across the planet to pound their stories into flat sheets that could be bound up in his book. People who don't spend their lives marinating in European musical tradition don't think minor chords are sad. To them, they're just a cluster of notes played at the same time. James Cameron hired Dr. Wanda Bryant to make alien music that had never been heard before for the Blue People Avatar movie and threw almost all of her work in the bin because it wasn't universal enough for him. So, as you look for these universalities, you'll find the fingerprints of imperialism on the corpses of cultures that were uncivilized or non-Western, languages lost to time, and smallpox blankets. So, fuck universalities. Stop looking for them, and instead look for the different. Listen to music from beyond the borders that we made up. Learn what you were never taught, and share what you find. We will find unity in our lack of uniformity. This last poem, I'm going to have to switch and put on my cover poem hat. Don't often do covers, but it is Black History Month, so I figured it's important to read poetry from Black people about Black people. And I think this one is very important. It's called I Saw Emmett Till This Week at the Grocery Store. Looking over the plums one by one, lifting each to his eyes and turning it slowly, a little earth, checking the smooth skin for pockmarks and rot or signs of unkind days or people, then sliding them gently into the plastic, whistling softly, reaching with a slim woolen arm into the cart. He first balanced them over the wire before realizing the danger of bruising, and lifting them back out, cradling them in the crook of his elbow until something harder could take that bottom space. I knew him from his hat, one of those fine pork pie numbers they used to sell on Roosevelt Road. It had lost its feather, but he had carefully folded a dollar bill and slid it between the ribbon and the felt. It stood at attention. He wore his money, upright and strong. He was already to the checkout by the time I caught up with him. I called out his name, and he spun like a dancer, candy bar in hand, looked at me quizzically for a moment before remembering my face. He smiled. Well, hello, young lady. Hello. So chilly today. Should have worn my warm coat like you. Yes, so cool for August in Chicago. How are things going for you? Oh, he sighed and put the candy on the belt. It goes. It goes. A poem's by Eve L. Ewing. It's one of my favorites. And it just speaks to the importance of being able to live a full life, even with the small things. You can find my poetry at Substack at Poetic Universal Friend. You can find my book. It's called The Chair, a cluttered pile of neuroqueer poetry. Um, you should do everything in your life to stop those who are cruel and evil and try to shorten lives like Emmett Till. If you saw the guy who, don't worry about it. But yeah, take care, be safe, fight fascists wherever you can. Thank you.
Beautifully said, David. Beautifully stated. And thanks for sharing those pieces there. Definitely recommend following David on Substack. You get to hear some of those pieces or read them first, fresh off the press. It's always a whole lot of fun. Then we get to hear them on Monday nights. But yeah, thanks, David. We're going to keep this thing going. Our next performer, I gave a shout out at the very beginning of the show. Like I said, you can catch him at Rally Point Coffee open mic on the east side. But right now, you can catch him online. We got Ed Gonzalez Jedi. When you are ready, Ed, the stage is yours.
Okay, hello everybody. It's funny, great minds always think alike, and I brought that up earlier with David, but uh, there's also two different kinds of candy. It's the candy that you make available for everybody else, and the kind of candy that you keep in a plastic bag under your desk. Just wanted to add that. That was pretty good stuff. Also, don't forget, we also got different colors in the BWOMS t-shirt. Um, if you wanted to get them, I got two great colors. They're available. You could go to the link tree, or you could just ask Richie. I'm going to go ahead and go with Happy Monday, and Happy Monday following the Hallmark holiday. And then I'll go right away to thank you, BWOMS. Thank you, Richie. Thank you, Kit. You make Mondays wonderful, and the Monday regulars. I'm gonna go right away to my first one is actually from last Saturday's Tumbleword by the great Kit Wren. And this one was really good one. I was there last year and I went this year, and I was sort of comparing my writings about the sort of that's my label, by the way, the Valentine's. I got that one. I also have a piece, a personal rant, and two covers. And I'm going to go ahead and jump on that because we got a big list. This one entitled Anti-Advice. Not that this prompt was wrong or right. It depends on the circumstances and the people. We all look at the world through our own lens and time. That last one is important as we drag our bloody stumps through the broken glass of the alley of love. I found with wisdom, I see my healed wounds of love. I found once love, always love. I realized that we cover it up, crash and burned relationships. We cover those up with pain. Uncover them with awareness. And now you can experience the love once shared. It's not easy, but remember the good times and the warmth will emerge. It can happen. Just don't tell your current significant other. Most of them don't like that. And we have much healing to accomplish. Aloha. And that was my first couple words. I have a couple small, real short ones. This one came from I don't know, I woke up at 3 in the morning and started writing. This one's called The State of Things, a rant. Things seem to be changing. They say no more ICE, but they're still arresting. They say no more detention centers, but construction continues. Protests in Europe now. And now you find out that the schools are opting out of school photos because the businesses are run by pedos. And they're sharing these photos. Just when these sick fucks couldn't get any more fucked up. Not to mention these hijo de putas are got me cussing again. Son of a bitches. Do what you need to do. Fight if you need to fight to get yourself right. Mold your clay. Fire up the kiln. Clear off your desk and write and draw. De-rust your shovel and your hoop hoe. Clean your brushes and stop using your easel as a hoodie rack. Tune up your uke and do whatever is, do it with love. The universe has your back. Okay, that was a good end of the rant. And this one's entitled The Journey by the great Mary Oliver. One day you finally knew what you had to do and began, though the voices around you kept shouting their bad advice. Though the whole house began to tremble and you felt an old tug at your ankles, mend my life. Each voice cried, but you didn't stop. You knew what you had to do. Though the wind pried with its stiff fingers at the very foundations, through their melancholy was terrible. It was already late enough. And the wild night and the road full of fallen branches and stones. But you, little by little, as you left their voices behind, the stars began to burn through the sheets of clouds, and there was a new voice which you slowly recognized as your own, that kept you company as you strode deeper and deeper into the world, determined to do the only thing that you could do, determined to save the only life you could save. The great Mary Oliver. And I'm gonna reread this because there's an anniversary to one of my best friends who has passed on, and this was his favorite song. I'm pretty sure you all have heard it a few thousand times. It's entitled "Losing It" by the Professor Neil Peart. The dancer shows her frantic pace in pain and desperation. Her aching limbs and downcast face glow with perspiration. Stiff as a wire, lungs on fire, with just the briefest pause. Flooding through her memories, the echoes of old applause. She limps across the floor and closes her bedroom door. The writer stares with glassy eyes, defies the empty page. His beard is white, his face is lined, streaked with tears of rage. 35 years ago, how the words would flow with passion and precision. But now his mind is dark and dulled by sickness and indecision. And he stares out the kitchen door where the sun will rise no more. Some are born to move the world, to live their fantasies, but most of us just dream about things we'd like to be. Sadder still is to watch it die than never to have known it. The Professor Neil Peart. And I want to thank everybody very much. I'm excited about Rally Point this Thursday. Self-care. Remember to take time for yourself, even if it's just a few minutes. Take a few breaths. Take longer if you need. If I have anything, I put it out on Ed Gonzalez Jedi at substack.com. Peace and love.
Beautiful. Thank you, as always, Ed. Ed Gonzalez, everyone. Go hang out with us next Thursday at Riley Point Coffee East. It's a chill, fun, open mic. Jez does a great job hosting it. All right, let's keep this thing going. By the way, shout out to a new subscriber, KSTNY or Kestany, however you spell that. Thanks for subscribing. Again, if you guys are tuning in, just say hello in the chat. Let us know you're there. And then, let us know what lines you love. If there's a line that resonates deep into your bones, into your soul, makes you feel something, let us know in the chat. That's a great way to give feedback to a performer. If there's just that line that hits so let them know. Type it in the chat. Type it on chat. That's always a compliment, when someone repeats a line. With that said, we're going to keep this thing moving along, and our next performer is going to share some poetry, at least she hopes. And also made a note that she could use one or two of the octopus's 8 mini brains to help her out, and tentacles to help her reach the top cabinets. Well, I always appreciate that kind of intro when they sign up. Joining us from the Ohlone Lands, San Francisco Bay Area, we have Finn Bell, one of our awesome people in the scene. So Finn Bell, we've missed you. When you're ready, go ahead and take the mic. Hey.
Missed you guys too. Thank you so much, Richie. Hello, folks. Just 2 poems from me tonight. Hope you guys can hear me. I know my voice is a little low. I'm still fighting this stupid cold. So this first poem is one from Nikita Gill's book, Hecate, and it's titled A Secret. Do you know what happens to gods after they lose a war? Their wives and daughters are stolen, but the male gods, their fate is something far more hideous. Atlas was fortunate. They gave him only the burden of the whole wide world. But my father and the other titans who stood against the Olympians were not so lucky. You see, the floors of Olympus were meant to be gold. Gold, the color of regency. Gold, the color of nobility. Gold, the color of God's blood. So that was Nikita Gill, Hecate, and the poem was titled A Secret. Okay. So this one is relatively brand new. I wish that CP Mays was still here. He ducked out, and I shared this with him earlier today to kind of test it out. So this is for an upcoming theme, but I'm previewing it now, and hopefully it works out. I'm going to still have to revise it a bit. It's for the Saturday night special coming up, Love in Uncertain Times theme. Revolution starts with the love we choose. My love is old hat, is old news. We are comfortable, we were comfortable, and I think I took for granted that I have known who you are. You've changed, friend. Outmoded habits, loyalty gone stale, make me hold out hope that you'll become familiar again. Perhaps this current scenario we're stuck inside isn't meant to be. Change is inevitable. Growth is painful, eruptive, disruptive. It's part of life, but I admit I do not like what you have changed into and who you are keeping company with these days. Love remains stubborn, it lingers, I remain. I do hope you know you can come to me, lean on me, begin to tell me the hard truths. I will not judge, at least I will try not to. Even saying this, my trust has turned wafer thin. My compassion nowadays can often not be summoned. Can I still lean on you too? I am afraid of what you're seeing through eyes that do not truly see or know me, of the picture they paint for you, splashed vivid blue, menace and chaos. How they've convinced you it represents all of me. Will you believe them? Am I your enemy now too? I've not loved anything in my life in half measures, in the shade of secret. I will not. I love fully. I love in the open. Open your arms to me. Be open to our transformation into everything, anything we desire, what we do not yet comprehend. Open up the beautiful little nest where I dwell in your body. Hello? Hello? Anyone home? Am I home yet? Is the door thrown wide open? I am love. And being this love, I am a place where you may land and find our softness. Fall with me. This soft I contain is my act of defiance, only jarring to those who do not know what love means, who refuse to understand it, who have run away from it and forgotten and replaced it in haste and called that new thing love. This other thing is not love. It is the farthest thing from it. You fall and you fall deeper and deeper rapidly. There is no landing, no solid ground. You become angry and afraid. You think this is called love too. I am love in revolt, love in constant motion, love that catches on fire from other hearts that surround me, a flame, and our spirits rise, are one, spit embers, levitate us from the pavement, lighter than air, crown our bashed in skulls, an ecstasy, an epiphany. We are speaking all the lost and found languages that travel the earth. We speak joyfully to one another in tongues. I will not be made warped and longing another fanatic's distortion. I am not a religious revival. I am a church reformed, become consecrated and whole. Enter. Vengeful legions creep upon us through territories defeated, through swollen, brackish, swift, desperate boats will take falsehood as coin for entry in the cover of night. They will spirit off with those among our numbers who have wandered far afield. They will topple love's sublime statuary and defile her sacred temples. We have encountered this mad, senseless warring before. We have been ruin and rebirth. Love, this love, is the oldest society we will know. We defend what she stands for. We defend each other. We brace ourselves. We embrace one another. We begin once more. Thank you.
Again, once more. Bam. And at the beginning, Finbel, it's been a while. All of us know you, love you, but so let's say someone's tuning in for the first time. How can they follow and support you online?
Yeah, you could find everything, especially right now, where I haven't posted it on Eventbrite, through my link tree, which is /Finbel. Yeah, there you go. In the chat. Thank you so much. Hey.
Perfect. Yeah, I had it ready to go. I had it locked and loaded, copied and pasted. That's the link tree, everyone. Go follow, go support Myra Literature. Submit your work and get on that cool Substack on those posts there. Thank you for sharing those pieces. All right, we're gonna keep this thing moving along, and we're gonna go ahead and travel around from the West Coast to South Euclid, Ohio, where we have not a single, not a double, but a triple. That's right, 3-time triple poet laureate, Doc Janning in the house. He's got a giant prehistoric dragonfly behind him, and he's going to take us somewhere cosmic. Doc, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Right on.
Yeah.
Somewhere in time. Somewhere beyond memory. Somewhere in time. A time our souls met. A time of one. A time of us. Somewhere beyond memory. Somewhere in time. A time of days together. A time in the sun. A time neath the stars. A time of love. A time of song. A time of sharing. Somewhere beyond memory. Somewhere in time. And I would bid time return. Return to you. Return to the us that was then. For I loved you so, and I love you still, and will beyond this love. And I will love you until the end of time, until the forever beyond forever. Somewhere beyond memory, somewhere in time, for you are there. Somewhere beyond memory, somewhere in time. And this is titled Star Song. In an ancient meadow, a meadow filled with night, I looked up. I looked into shadowed caverns of sky, and I saw stars. Stars like grains of sand, and the stars were singing. They were singing the songs of infinity, songs of birth, life, and death, age-old songs of beginnings and endings. I looked up, I listened, and I understood. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Doc. I was caught there in the ether of the infinite. Do you have anything coming up that you want to promote? And of course, like I asked Finn, how can people find and support your work online?
Well, I'm on Facebook. Uh, I'm I made an Instagram a number of years ago, but I've never really used it. So look for me on Facebook. I don't post a lot because of publication problems that way. Other than that, the only things I have going on are local.
Alrighty then. Cool. Thanks for always joining us. Love it, man. Thank you, Doc Janning, everyone. Appreciate it. Like I said, if you guys are just tuning in, this is our Monday night online open mic. We do this every Monday. If you ever want to join us, you can find us on social media. We do have a link tree, and in that link tree, we have a section specifically for online mics. That is where you can find the link to sign up, as well as just tune into the YouTube channel. If you are on YouTube, I would encourage you guys to subscribe to our channel. It's mainly for the live streams, but every now and then I do post content, highlight reels, featured sets. It's nice to just have that support. And the more you interact with our videos, the more it gets pushed out there into the world, into an algorithm. So I'm just going to keep this thing going because it's a pretty long list. We're going to go ahead and go to New York City, where we have Marilee Johnson going to join us. And it's been a little while. Welcome back to the show. When you are ready, the stage is yours. Hello, hello.
Thank you, and I appreciate everybody being here. Some people have already heard this piece, but since several of you haven't, I'm going to do it again. This is set on New Year's Eve and is called The Bubbly. Hi, Larry. Welcome to my humble abode. Before you come in, did I mention the bed bugs? I mean, I had them, but they've been treated now. I just meant that's why all the plastic bags. No, really, you're safe. Wait, come back. Oh, I have dinner bubbling on the stove. SpaghettiOs. I know they're your favorite. Sir, come on in. The couch is over there by the lamp. See it? Yeah, you might have to move a couple of plastic bags to sit on it, but would you like something to drink? I mean, some water? Tap water? Bubbly at midnight? Well, we'd have to have more tap water. That's really all I drink, what with my acid reflux and past drinking problem. But hey, I have a bubbly personality thanks to my antidepressant, and I have straws. We could blow in it. Voila, bubbly. You didn't see that one coming, did you? Ah, shoot, I cracked myself up. Well, let me get you that water and finish up with dinner. Here you go. Oh, let me get the table ready. Get these bags off of it. You'll have to be careful not to step on these bags. Of course, if you fell, that'd be sort of a soft landing now, wouldn't it? I'll be right back. Oh, shoot. Did you want bread with that? It's gluten-free, okay? Did you want Parmesan cheese with that? It's dairy-free, okay? It's dinner time! Oh, it's kind of hard walking through these bags. Would you want to carry your plate? I don't think I can manage both while I'm trying to keep my balance. Woo! Careful now. Okay, whew. Have a seat. Chow down. So tell me all about yourself. When did you first eat SpaghettiOs? I bet you were a cute little tyke. I mean, you're handsome now, so I can just imagine. Oh, when did I first eat SpaghettiOs? I guess it was during my second marriage. We were pretty poor, but we had a chef some nights. Chef Boyardee. Ah, me. Yeah, I've been married more than once. I'd like to remarry. Third time's a charm. How about you? Have you been married? You've been divorced more than once. So, 2 marriages? 3? So you've been divorced 3 times. Only twice? So you're still married? Oh my God, this is not going to work out, Buster. Separated, blusterated. I need you to leave. Now! And don't even think of coming back unless your divorce goes through. Out! Out! Oh, like you're going to sue me just because you tripped over a plastic bag. Get out! Good riddance. We never even made it to the bubbly bath. Thank you very much. I appreciate your attention.
Okay, thank you. And do you have social media anywhere we can also check out your work, support you online?
You could try me on Facebook too.
All right, perfect. Cool. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
I know it's also a little later in the night, you know, here we're here mountain time. So anytime someone East Coast 2 hours ahead, I'm like, all right, it's late, it's late. So I appreciate the effort to stay up and stay on. So thank you, Mary Lee. Yeah, come back whenever you'd like. We're gonna keep this thing going. We're gonna come back to El Paso, and we have some original music debut here. Actually, we have Aaron Atkins, and I want to make sure we didn't get to do that sound check, but go ahead and let's try this out. You know, it's like they say, we're gonna do it live. So Aaron Atkins, everyone.
Hello,
Hey.
testing. Does everything sound all right?
Think so? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have two originals, if I may. They're pretty short. I kind of run out of things to say. Ooh, let me get my lyrics up. I've been cruel sometimes, you were too. This old ivory tower keeps my eyes from you. Your light shines through. I chose spite sometimes, you do too. In the loneliest hour, all I want is you to want me to. You've been wrong this time, been untrue. You've still got the power, everything I do is meant for you. Kind of figuring out this harmonica thing on it's taped to my guitar.
Wow, that's
Can't-
awesome.
It's pretty fun.
I've never played it before with, yeah. Thank you. I got one more that I wrote today actually, but it's got this kind of looper pedal thing in here, so there's definitely margin for error. Always close but never near. You've gone to hell and back, but you don't have enough, my dear, to pay for them to send your shit back home. to buy new clothes and dress for the workplace. Always shouting, never clear. Lie to me with facts. But you're not good enough, I fear. Good enough to keep them feeling alone. Guess you'll have to change your tone. Smile for the paycheck. Not as kind as you appear. You're stealing what you lack. That's not much of a career. And it won't hold a candle and it gets cold. One day you will wake up old, finished at your birthplace. Alrighty.
Wonderful, wonderful. But before we leave, I do have a few questions. This is also your first time, so I do have a few questions. First of all, I hope there's a music page we can follow. Anything that you have going on, support your music.
I'm on Spotify. Like the last album I did last year, I just kind of do it casually. I just like to write songs. It's just kind of like a hobby, like a pastime. You know.
I mean, it sounded great. We loved it. You got a looper and you got a harmonica taped to the body of your guitar. That's great. How did you hear about us?
I Googled like open mic. I mean, I hate to say it, I'm kind of ashamed of it, but I asked ChatGPT. I was like, "Are there any open mics in El Paso?"
Okay.
They're like, "Yeah, there's one today." Or, "Yeah, there's one today." And
Okay,
this
we're
one-
gonna forgive
that was
you
a good
that,
impression,
'cause We're
you know?
glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do this again. I haven't done an open mic in like 5-6 years. So
Wow. Hey, man. Well, we got in-person open mics. We're downtown tomorrow if you want to come play some music.
I was
In
planning
El
on
Paso.
that, yeah.
So, yeah. Thanks for coming through. And, we're always here. So if you have any questions, hit us up in the chat. Thanks for coming through. That was really fun music. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, and everyone's poetry's been really great too.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. This reminds me of the early days when we did the show. Like it was like part open mic, part podcast. Cause like I did like interviews with everyone apparently afterwards. Like, so how's your day going? Like, how you feeling? We would talk about the songs, but also in the early days, we had really long lists and looks like we have one. So I'm going to keep this thing going. We're going to go ahead and head over to Greenfield, Massachusetts, where we have Storm, who's going to share some poetry / acapella once again. So Storm, when you are ready, I will get you into the spotlight. Hello, hello. Welcome back.
ADA. Okay. Poem for Valentine's, a poem for what we're dealing with in the world, and a couple of pieces for Black History Month. Warning, the Black History Month pieces are heavy. People don't want to hear it. You might want to turn your volume down when I get to that part. Declaration. I have no woman of love or flame to hold my hand or call my name, to come and lie down by my side, to bring me peace when darkness bide. No conquest long, no one-night fling awaits me now to make me sing. Oh, I have dreams as I had plans, they smolder still, I am a man. Yet when or if they'll lead me home, I cannot say, I am alone. I have no bride, I have no whore, I have no mate whom I adore. And likewise none who dote on me, I totter on the end to see. Oh, such bright colors I'd paint the sky, to know I'm held the day I die. And feel sweet lips upon my cheek, and those hot tears that she would weep, she who somehow I'd called to be, for all her life in love with me. God, if I could just rub a salve over my life and ease this pain and aching, how much longer can I exist unknowing what benefit the future? I feel such crumbling inside and throughout this world as I have known it or desire it to be. If I could just soothe deeply this despair and loosen the muscles around lungs and heart, would that be enough to stop me from waking in the morning crying? This is a cover, but it's not appropriate to put on another hat. Florida means land of flowers. It was on a Christmas night in the state named for the flowers. Men came bearing dynamite. Men came stealing through the orange groves, bearing hate instead of love, while the star of Bethlehem was in the sky above. Oh, memories of a Christmas evening when wise men traveled from afar, seeking out a lowly manger guided by a holy star. Oh, memories of a Christmas evening when to Bethlehem they came. Peace on earth, goodwill to men, Jesus was his name. But they must have forgotten Jesus down in Florida that night, stealing through the orange groves, bearing hate and dynamite. There was a little cottage, a family name of Moore. In the window, wreaths of holly, a pine wreath on the door. Christmas 1951, the family's prayers were said when father, mother, daughter, and grandmother went to bed. The father's name was Harry Moore. The NAACP told him to carry out its work, that Negroes might be free. So it was that Harry Moore, so deeply he did care, sought the right for men to live with their heads up everywhere. Because of that, white killers who like Negroes in their place came stealing through the orange groves on that night of dark disgrace. It could not be in Jesus' name beneath the bedroom floor. On Christmas night the killers hid the bomb for Harry Moore. It could not be in Jesus' name the killers took his life, blew his home to pieces and killed his faithful wife. It could not be for the sake of love they did this awful thing. For when the bomb exploded, no hearts were heard to sing, and certainly no angels cried, peace on earth, goodwill to men, but around the world an echo. Oh, sorry, my eye is just tearing up. A question when, but around the world an echo hurled the question when? When will men forsake a peace and for democracy learn no bombs can kill a man? Learn no bombs a man can make can keep men from being free. It seems that I hear Harry Moore from the earth, his voice cries, no bomb can kill the dreams I hold, for freedom never dies. So should you see our Harry Moore waking on a Christmas night, don't run and hide, you killers. He has no dynamite. In his heart is only love for all the human race, and all he wants is for every man to have his rightful place. And this, he says, our Harry Moore, as from the grave he cries, no bomb can kill the dreams I hold, for freedom never dies. Freedom never dies, I say. Freedom never dies. And by Phil Oakes. In the state of Mississippi, many years ago, a boy of 14 years got a taste of Southern law. He saw his friend a hanging. His color was his crime, and the blood upon his jacket put a brand upon his mind. Too many martyrs and too many dead. Too many lies, too empty words were said. Too many times for too many angry men. Oh, let it never be again. His name was Medgar Evers, and he walked his road alone, like Emmett Till and 1,000 more whose names we'll never know. They tried to burn his house, and they beat him to the ground, but deep inside they both knew what it took to bring him down. The killer waited for by his home, hidden by the night, as Edgar stepped out from his car into the rifle sight. He slowly squeezed the trigger. The bullet left his side. It struck the heart of every man when Evers fell and died. Too many martyrs, too many dead, too many lies, too many empty words were said, too many times for too many angry men. Oh, let it never be again. And they laid it in his grave while the bugle sounded clear. Wait, I skipped the verse, sorry. The killer waited by his home, hidden by the night, as Edgar stepped out from his car into the rifle sight. He slowly squeezed the trigger. The bullet left his side, struck the heart of every man when Evers fell and died. God, my eye is really burning, sorry. And they laid him in his grave while the bugle sounded clear, laid him in his grave while the victory was near, while he waited for the future, for the freedom through the land. The country gained a killer, and the country lost a man. Too many martyrs, and too many dead, too many lies, too many empty words were said, too many times for too many angry men. Oh, let it never be again. Oh, let it never be again. Sorry, my eyes just really burning. I have this condition that when my eye tears up, it literally burns. Okay. Daily Antidote song, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, 12 noon on Zoom. Check it out. I'll put more info in the chat. People's Music Network for Songs of Freedom and Struggle, 47 years plus, 320 plus members, international, do things on Zoom throughout the year and a couple of times in the physical. I'll put more info in the chat. Spring Harmony coming up March 6th through 8th. Online, workshops, concerts, meditation, and poetry and song swaps. Lots of fun stuff, lots of fun people. I'll put more info in chat.
All right. Thank you, Storm.
Yeah,
Be on the
I'm
lookout
talking
for
about
that.
suffering for your art.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't really sing the song, but my
That's
eyes
all right.
was burning.
No, it's all good. Thank you, Storm. Yeah, we'll share those links in just a moment. Thank you. Man, okay. Also, I'm checking the live stream. Thanks for hanging out with us. Want to give a shout out to Kitefully. Shout out to Leslie. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hello. Yeah, check out our open mics that we have throughout the week. Again, we're going to be downtown on Tuesday, as well as Wednesday, on the east side on Thursday and Friday. So check out our calendar. I did link that there. All right, we're going to keep this going. By the way, if there are any EPCC students hanging out, tuning in, you guys can get Tejano Passport credit. The instructions are in the description of the video. And if anyone just wants to perform or read, the link to sign up is also in the description of the video. If not today, you just want to check it out, we're here every Monday, so hopefully we'll see you at the next one. But let's keep this thing moving along. We are going to come back to El Paso for our next performer. Not only is she a master poet, she is a master gardener, which ensures either way, we're all going to dig it. Ladies and gents and bees, it is time for Robin Schofield. Yo.
Oh, good one, Richie. Happy Monday, everybody. Or whatever day of the week it is to you people in the future. And speaking of the future, tomorrow is the Asian New Year, and it's going to be the fire horse because there's an element and an animal in the Chinese astronomy. I don't mean to alarm anybody, but this is called Misfortune in the Year of the Fire Horse. In Edo, Japan, the greengrocer's daughter, born in the fateful year, Yaoya Osichi fell in fiery love with a temple page Raging with desire, she tried to commit arson and was burned at the stake at 16. At the bakery on Pudding Lane, the sleepy baker rose at midnight, betting it all on the wooden houses, indecision by Mayor Bloodworth. When the fire jumped the river fleet, they got out the gunpowder. For the Apache, the year brought joy and catastrophe, pairs of twins, brothers and sisters who circled each other and were enemies till the woman in the moon came home. And then the Blue Coat tribe arrived. In San Francisco, the earthquake ruptured gas lines. The fire chief died of his injuries. The army blew up houses to make fire breaks. People set their own damaged homes ablaze because insurance covered fires, not earthquake. Chinatown completely gone. People there not even counted. And now I'm going to read a political poem, I guess. It's called, after Philip Larkin's poem, it's called Never Such Innocence Again. I did it in a Tumble Wars workshop led by Kit Wren, and I haven't revised it very much, but here it is. I'm sorry, Ben Franklin, that we could not keep the Republic. We elected your worst nightmare come true, a low-life grifter turned television huckster, turned politician, turned running our republic into the ground. It's not like he works or reads anything. This fat Gatsby governs by whim and decree, dictator of social media. Even the crook Nixon was restrained by the courts. Now the Supremes have upheld this fraudster's alternate reality. No consequences for the lawless, as long as you are rich, not a Venezuelan fisherman. And here's another poem, sort of political in nature, and it's modeled after Monet's Water Lilies by the great Robert Hayden. You may be familiar with his popular poem, Winter Sundays. What did I know? What did I know of the austere and lonely offices of love? That's the ending of it. Well, Robert Hayden, he's from the 60s, but he's well worth reading today. So anyway, I call this Weighing the Fruits, after Monet's Water Lilies by Robert Hayden. The Somali people, Minneapolis, Nigerian and Venezuelan oil profits, all the African ambassadors withdrawn, venal racism, the kind I didn't have to fight, smokes like a refinery. A reasonable Methodist, my father was the liberal judge who fought that battle and won, I thought. At the grocery store, I can't live outraged yet numb all the time, trying to decide between apples and tangerines, whether the mangoes are too green, while the fascists trample on our Bill of Rights. I don't know what's right or right, whether I am wounded or not yet. I watch the news on various devices. I will slide my debit card into the slot and type my secret code for the fruit, milk, yogurt, pet food, and cereal. Coffee has doubled in price, tariffs and climate breakdown added in. I weigh the blushing mangoes from eternal summers in Mexico or Brazil. I put my hopes and fears on the scale. Fruitless, they don't move the needle. I place the tangerine to weigh the joy of the world each of us has lost. And now I want to read a cover poem from one of my favorite poets, Rita Dove. In the 90s, I think 94 to 96 or something like that, she was Poet Laureate of the US. And this one is about Rosa Parks. It's from her book, On the Bus with Rosa Parks, one of my favorite books. It's just called Rosa. How she sat there, the time right, inside a place so wrong it was ready. That trim name with its dream of a bench to rest on. Her sensible coat. Doing nothing was the doing. The clean flame of her gaze carved by a camera flash. How she stood up when they bent down to retrieve her purse. That courtesy. Rita Dove. All right, you can find me on Facebook under my name. I have some books out there. And come to Tumblewords if you want to write. We meet on Saturdays at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. Next time will be Kit Wren, I believe, doing Lucille Clifton. That should be good. Back to you, Richie.
All right, thank you, Robin. Appreciate that. Always a great ad for Tumblewords. If you guys are free on Saturdays online, get some generative writing done. All right, we're gonna keep this thing moving along, and we have a name we haven't seen in a while. Joining us from New Mexico, and I do remember one of our first big events that we had coming back out of the pandemic and doing a live event. We were able to invite Stacy Dyson to join us in El Paso and do a reading in person, and that was such a great event. I remember standing ovation, So she has a new book out. It's a new collection, Because the Sun Would Not Move. I want to welcome back to the space, Stacy Dyson. So good to see you again. When you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, darling. I appreciate it. Any luck at all, I'll be back down your way in a couple, 3 months. The first piece I'm going to do is from the book called Because the Sun Would Not Move. The second piece is from a book that I've just started to write called Jesus and Ice Cream. When Daddy told us the grits thing, I was still in school. 15, 16, just getting interested in relationships, not sex, just how it worked between men and women, the psychology, sociology of how folks got together, got along. Let me start by saying I was a very protected girl, not in the sense of being hovered over or not encouraged to adventure. I had sisters who would fuss with me but fight my battles come push to shove. My mother taught me defense via sharp tongue and wicked wit, the way Southern women do, and my father, well, Daddy was a combat veteran Golden Gloves champ who had a miniature gun collection and made no secret of the fact that even looking cross-eyed at a girl of his was not an option. When Daddy told us the grits thing, it was after years of growing up watching how my parents danced late in the living room, spent walks holding hands and making mutual respectful decisions, watching arguments that didn't always end like fairy tales, but ended, watching Valentine's addressed to his special angel, watching the pride on her face when he sang with the God's messengers. Years of watching how men and women needed to relate to each other, years of hearing stories from friends and seeing stuff in other people's houses that would later make my parents purse lips or shake disapproving heads saying, no, or we don't do like that. Years of friends whose fathers treated their mother like property, or stupid, or not as good as, talked trash about women with their wives or girls or daughters looking embarrassed or scared or too beat down to breathe. Saying to my father, bet you wish you'd had some boys instead of all them girls. Daddy was never what you might call amused by those words. Made sure we didn't spend too much time around such folk. Made sure we knew better than to listen to men like that. Made sure we knew better than to be women like that. When Daddy told us the grits thing, my mother was big into Al Green. Y'all know, the soul singer, Arkansas boy. Mr. Let's Stay Together, which Tina Turner redid and did better, but I digress. Women used to swoon, listen late and tight at night to his sound. My mother got this look of ecstasy and anticipation dancing around the living room. I personally had no use for him. Too much music, too full of himself. Besides, I was Stevie's girl. But again, I digress. Don't know if y'all know, but the true stories of Black entertainment lives came quick down the Black church and community pipeline. Doings and rumors and goings on were very well known way before they hit the real news. In 74, Mr. Here I Am, Come and Take Me got stupid with his girl, who paid him back with boiling grits yanked right off the stove and poured all over his sorry self. And if you were Black, you knew all about it long before the entertainment mags and papers did. Baptism comes hard some days. Old Al got religion and became the Reverend Green right quick in 76. A little while after, my sisters and me doing afternoon chores or homework, something. Daddy called us into the formal dining room, had us sit and be quiet, asked had we heard about it. Yeah, Daddy, we heard. Okay. You know you don't let some man put his hands on you, right? We'd been taught right. We nodded our heads and said, well, yeah, we know, Daddy. We know. My father cleared his throat. Now, when Daddy cleared his throat, it was about to get deep. Daddy grunted, cleared his throat, looked us straight in the eye, and said, any man ever puts his hands on you. Any man ever puts his hands on you. You put some grits on the stove and call your daddy. Y'all got it? We got it. That was 40-some years ago. My daddy's been gone 15 and more. There have been a fair number of fellas, some just out for sex, some exploring relationships. I've watched and listened and learned. I'm better at understanding the psychology, the sociology of how folks get and stay together. I remember being taught right by years of fights that didn't always end in fairy tales, pride in each other, and Valentines. I am forever open to the psychology, the sociology of men and women and how we get together. I deeply believe in equal decisions, dancing late at night in the living room. That being said, every kitchen I've ever lived in features several large pots for boiling and at least one freshly purchased box of grits. Okay. And then the next one, as I say, is from a book that I'm working on now called Jesus and Ice Cream. When I was a little tiny girl, falling and scraping my knees, getting cinder dust in my eye, too stupid to stay away from barbecue fires and camping flames. Whenever I was busy being childishly ignorant and got hurt, my mother would frown. Daddy would scold a little, but my Gran always pulled me to one side, wiped my face, gave me a spoon of chocolate mint or butter pecan or striped vanilla. That was my favorite. Made me say a little small prayer over it first. Remember, girl, all you ever need is Jesus and ice cream. What one doesn't fix, the other will. Gran's been gone for decades. I still hear her sometimes. Been hearing her a lot the older I get. Life has been difficult for the world, for other people, for me. What we thought were certainties barely exist of ghosts of thought. Right now, dying or breathing in pain, there is so much pain. Gasping for just a little small breath of something, anything, to keep them alive. I can't sing anymore. Some disagreement between my lungs and vocal cords, the sound is cracked. Only fluted between my lips if I'm sotto voce. It's not like before. No one would pay to hear me now. I cannot walk right. The infection from the flood in Baton Rouge crept inward and ate away at any grace I had. Bending the knee is no fancy descriptor of protest. It's a fervent wish. When I gave away probably 10 years ago. One eye works perfectly. The other is scarred inside. Surgery would help, maybe, but not really change anything. I think I regret most my hands. I used to have the most beautiful hands. And now the fingers swell, ache if I type too long. Working with pen and ink has become a very bad joke. My doctor says I have a heart murmur. A nice enough woman, but a born liar, because my heart has never murmured in all my life. It shouts, defies, works, and loves to the point of joy and exhaustion. It has never known how to be quiet. I'm a Black woman in a country that is busily trying to kill my culture, crush my history, murder my hopes. They have been searching for centuries to find a way to break my back, my faith, my heart. Only my heart has succumbed, but never completely, and never for long. The one thing that has no blemish, no mark, no chance of being quenched is my anger. That is bright and shiny new every moment, every hour, every second, living under this present evil. I may forgive, but I never forget. I may seem to sleep in shadow sometimes, but I'm only biding time and planning, not hiding away. This life, this world has never hurt so much that I cannot heal myself and anyone smart enough to believe in me. So keep all your nostrums and patents and pills. Keep your easy cures and quick fixes. Keep my name out of your mouth. I have my brains and faith. I have warrior's blood and a heart that cannot, will never be done for. I got Jesus and ice cream. And Grandma knew. Grandma always knew what would bring me through everything to the other side.
Awesome. 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 Stacy, for the uninitiated, where can people follow and support your work online, and where can they find your new collection? Because the sun would not move.
Well, the new collection you can find um, anywhere they sell books, independent bookshops, Barnes and Noble, Amazon. There's also a campaign surrounding the book, and you can get copies of the book there. You can get me to come to your town and perform there. You can get a personal virtual one-on-one performance, that sort of thing. And I will post all that in the chat in a second. And as far as finding me online, you can find me on Facebook. Yes, still. You can find me on Facebook, or you can find me on Instagram under St. Rains.
That's right. Awesome. Well, thank you as always. It's good seeing you. And yeah,
You too.
we'll look and see what spaces we have for you right now. I still have your books. They're on my bookshelf. I was gonna grab them, but there's a law of the universe. When there's a cat sitting next to you, you can't move. So I couldn't do that right now. So, thank you, Stacy Dyson. Appreciate it. Awesome, awesome. All right, we're gonna keep this thing moving along. We're gonna go to Louisiana. I don't know why I said it like that, but we have Sam Hardy up next on the mic. So, Sam, when you are ready, let's go ahead and get you on here. Hello.
Hey, so we have a joke among some of my friends in open mic that I've been in for 2 or 3 years now. We always go, I have to follow that. I'm speechless, Stacy. That was excellent. That was really great. Put your Instagram in there so I can follow you, okay? Anyway, so today I wrote several poems. So I'm going to read some of the poems I wrote today. The first poem I'm going to read is called Second Skin. As children, we had big dreams, running and laughing at recess, jumping on swift moving carousels, our first kiss by the bleachers. But the world is full of monsters, ones that would have us be lesser, silent, cautious, second-class citizens, even before we could walk. We learn not to argue, to be agreeable, to stay small. As women, we carry silence into every room, Tracking in memories we'd much rather forget. We avoid the daylight, leaving windows shut and locked. Silence becomes a second skin. We wear it to job interviews, to doctor's offices, to dinner tables where laughter sits too close to sharp edges. We learn which stories make people uncomfortable, which words turn rooms cold, which truths are better folded in small and kept in purses between spare change and keys. Silence keeps us employed. Silence keeps us safe. Silence keeps us alive until it doesn't. Silence settles in the body. We carry it in our shoulders, in clenched jaws and shallow breaths, in apologies we offer before we speak, in laughter that arrives a second too late. One day the silence cracks, not because we are brave, but because it becomes unbearable. Silence is not obedience. Silence is not consent. But the day will come when the silence grows heavy. It no longer fits inside our mouths. It leaks into sleep, into mirrors, into the way we hesitate before saying our own names. Before we decide how loud we are willing to be. The next one is called curriculum. You may recognize some of these names. It starts the same way everywhere. A woman leaves, a woman stays, a woman speaks, a woman exists outside permission. A man decides this will not stand. They call it an argument, a bad night, a misunderstanding. They call it anything but what it is. They call it isolated, but the pattern knows itself. Renee, Jordana, Toyin, Gabby, Brianna. Say them once. Say them again. Say them until the room understands this is not coincidence. This is curriculum. Different mornings, different streets, different countries, same ending. Men spit names at them on the way out, as if cruelty were punctuation, as if the sentence of their lives needed correcting. Their voices stop mid-thought. The world exhales. The news cycle moves on. This is what femicide leaves behind. Not headlines, not statistics, but rooms that no longer make sense. Beds untouched. Shoes by the door. Questions with no safe place to land. This is not about where they were from. This is about what they were. Women who did not survive being treated as disposable. Now, say their name again. My next one is somewhere. Sorry, let's see here. My next one I wrote today is called 30 Days. Anybody who knows my poetry about my woman in Istanbul will understand this one. It would be so easy to let poetry write the truth, to sand down the edges, to turn a month into a myth, to say you loved me in a way that lingered, to stretch 30 days into something permanent. But permanent was never promised. Only proximity, only heat, quick kisses in elevators, hands held in back seats of taxis, quiet laughter in borrowed rooms. You loved me in moments, not in permanence, but for a moment it was real. Real enough that my body remembers. Real enough that some mornings the air feels thinner. Real enough that I still measure the time against those 30 days. Real enough that sometimes I miss you in rooms you've never been in. Those are the times I take a breath, close my eyes, and let it pass. And this poem is called The Right Words. With all I have seen in my throat, with all I have seen, my words stall in my throat. Silence sits like foreign words that really only a scream can properly pronounce. Genocide. Bombs. murdered, cannot be structured into meaning that anyone elsewhere would possibly understand. Maybe in the end, I will find one last utterance to tell you what happened here. And my last one, because I'm not going to leave you with all that stress there. 3 poems in a casserole. That's what I did today. 3 poems in a casserole. I wrote 3 poems before noon. One about love and its actual size. Of course, it was about her. No big surprise. One about parents and what stays. The things you wish they'd never say. Then I brought browned hamburger with onions and peppers, folded in with a bit of cream cheese. I was hungry, so I cooked as I pleased. It could have used more spice, but I cleaned that plate with ease. The spinach, that was the ingredients I felt in my soul. Stubborn, green, resilient, and bold, not dissolving into the dairy of life. I ate it with garlic bread, fell asleep for an hour, and woke up renewed with poetic power. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Sam, as always. And people can follow you. I believe you have a link tree, right? We will share that.
Right, I'll put all the information in there. Don't worry.
All right. Perfect. And I do want to say that, you're set. You achieved the best compliments in which you had people reposting lines. So that's a good thing. That is a really good thing.
Fantastic.
Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and keep the night.
Good night. Thank you all.
Oh, all right, Storm.
My eyes
Take it easy.
still burning.
All right. Well, good night. All right, we're going to go ahead and keep the night going. I see our next performer there waiting patiently on the screen. He's at this point, he's been name dropped several times, and I think he's hosted here. He hosted Old Sheepdog Brewery the last Thursday of every month. Everyone, it's time for Mr. Monday Night, Kit Ren. Yo.
What's up? How's it going, Richie? How's it going, everybody? All right, and very pleased at all the new people in the YouTube comments. I'm very pleased they're all behaving themselves, and I don't have to go crazy like I did last week. But yeah, well, I finished with short story theater, so get to go back into my own stuff, but with a cover, of course, at the end. So this is some new shit. I wrote this in Chris Aziz's Tumblewords workshop, and she named it Chester Christ. I fear we have left reality and now live in the simulacra. Nature loves to hide, but is now hidden too well. Or we have. Either way, the concrete has been irretrievably corrupted by the abstract. A transient man asked me to buy him an energy drink. I offered to get him water instead, but he said fuck that and karate kicked the empty air to the right of me. Which one of us was wrong? In the store, they had natural Cheetos. They were baked, not fried. Farm-to-table Cheetos. My laughter caught in my throat, because Chester Cheetah himself walked down the supermarket aisle wearing a white silken robe. He pushed a Cheeto into my mouth, saying, "Eat, for it is my body." In his left paw, he held a can of Monster Zero Ultra White Energy Drink. He said, "Drink, for it is my blood." With his right paw, he touched my forehead and so marked me with a color not found in nature. And that is how people know that I am who I say I am. Yeah, that one's weird. Don't know what to tell you. I haven't taken the hiking trail less than 1,000 feet from me in quite some time. I took to the isolation of COVID like a duck to a saucepan in a honey glaze. But like writing, dog sitting occasionally turns old hobbies into duties I must fulfill. The 2 dogs led me down a canyon in Rim Road. It looked like I was trespassing in a painting, but I never lost myself fully in nature. I always had in my sightline, fixed like a compass, the pickleball court of the obnoxious house to the right of my clients. Civilization, if that's what you want to call it, is winning, if that's what you want to call it. The calmer and larger of the two dogs stays below in the wilded half of the two-tiered backyard, contemplating peacefully, as we and the more rambunctious dog continue climbing to the house. As I touch the back door, my phone starts playing a podcast about professional wrestling, embarrassing me in front of my amicable ex. Why am I embarrassed? She's seen everything and still wants to be friends. What's left for me to do? I want the willful composure of the dogs. I swear to you, I used to have it. When Carrie called to let me know her brother was gone, I already knew. When I answered the phone already sobbing, she was at least spared from having to say it again. I think there's a part of me that felt gratified that I was on the to-do list. I do not like this part of me, the part that revels in love, that dips its fingers into the byproducts of love. Whether it is putting me down or picking me up, it's troubling that somewhere I am always keeping score. That part of me would dare say to the rest of me, isn't it beautiful she let you know? Isn't shared grief beautiful? No. I don't think it is. But the necessary things don't have to be beautiful. Love is not a purely aesthetic experience. You cannot opt out of the obligations others feel towards you. Your others will never believe you if you talk about how small you are. And, cover poem. This is from her 2011 collection, Life on Mars. This is Don't You Wonder Sometimes by Tracy K. Smith. 1. After dark, stars glisten like ice. In the distance they span hide something elemental. Not God exactly, more like some thin-hipped, glittering Bowie being. A starman, or cosmic ace hovering, swaying, aching to make us see. And what would we do, you and I, if we could know for sure that someone was there squinting through the dust, saying nothing is lost, that everything lives on waiting only to be wanted back badly enough? Would you go then, even for a few nights, into that other life, where you and that first she loved, blind to the future once, and happy? Would I put on my coat and return to the kitchen, where my mother and father sit waiting, dinner keeping warm on the stove? Bowie will never die. Nothing will come for him in his sleep, or charging through his veins, and he'll never grow old. Just like the woman you lost, who will always be dark-haired and flush-faced, running toward an electronic screen that clocks the minutes, the miles left to go. Just like the life in which I'm forever a child looking out my window at the night sky, thinking one day I'll touch the world with bare hands, even if it burns. 2. He leaves no tracks, slips past quick as a cat. That's Bowie for you, the Pope of pop. Coy as Christ, like a play within a play, he's trademarked twice. The hours plink past like water from a window AC. We sweat it out, teach ourselves to wait. Silently, lazily, collapse happens. But not for Bowie. He cocks his head, grins that wicked grin. Time never stops, but does it end? And how many lives before takeoff, before we find ourselves beyond ourselves, all glam glow, all twinkle and gold? The future isn't what it used to be. Even Bowie thirsts for something good and cold. Jets blink across the sky like migratory souls. 3. Bowie is among us, right here in New York City, in a baseball cap and expensive jeans, ducking into a deli, flashing all those teeth at the doorman on his way back up. Or he's hailing a taxi on Lafayette as the sky clouds over at dusk. He's in no rush. Doesn't feel the way you'd think he feels. Doesn't strut or gloat. Tells jokes. I've lived here all these years and never seen him. Like not knowing a comet from a shooting star. But I'll bet he burns bright, dragging a tail of white-hot matter the way some of us track tissue back from the toilet stall. He's got the whole world under his foot, and we are small alongside, though there are occasions when a man his size can meet your eyes for just a blip of time and send a thought like shine, 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 straight to your mind. Bowie, I want to believe you. Want to feel your will like the wind before rain, the kind everything simply obeys. Swept up in that hypnotic dance as if something with the power to do so had looked its way and said, go ahead. Oh, yes, and everyone's been so kind, talking about the Tumblewords project and sharing their latest things from there. This Saturday, Mom got it wrong. It's not going to be. It's going to be Lee Martinez Soto, and they'll have a workshop about envisioning alternate futures. Good idea. Good idea. We need a new future. Be something we should work on. So they'll have the Fabled Talking Stick this Saturday at 1 o'clock Mountain. To get the info to get into Tumblewords, you can just reach me on Instagram at KitRenAway. It's my name and then away. It's a little joke. It's a little jokey joke. I will be doing that Lucille Clifton workshop that Mom was looking forward to on February 28th. Just in time. And then March 7th, Robin Schofield herself will be leading a political poetry workshop. And those are the next 3 weeks. But we have a lot of exciting things planned for the future for Tumblewords every Saturday. And I will also be hosting at Old Sheepdog Brewery, not this upcoming Thursday, but the one after. So that is the 26th. Thursday, February 26th. You and me at Old Sheepdog Brewery. Let's have a good time. So we'll kick it back out to Richie. Thank you all so much.
All right. Thank you, Kit. Appreciate that. And check out our BWOMS calendar for all those upcoming dates. All right. Hold on. Let me double check. I didn't see Luis here. So we're going to go ahead and drop in with our friend in Laredo, Texas, who I might add wants to add with a high dose of Cali flavoring. We got Discovia, Lyrical Mage, next up on the mic. So Discovia, when you are ready, the stage is yours.
Yo, I just had to jump in just to check in. What's up, y'all? Honestly, y'all did amazing. I just want to say it's such an honor to be surrounded by such talented, beautiful human beings that want to spread goodness and keep being good. Richie, Kid, all of you know that you're the shit. Edtastic, you always remain fantastic. I'm not trying to spit bars and flow, even though I'm a lyrical mage, as we all know. But I forgot where I was going with that. I just got too a little bit hyped up, and just being around you guys and the energy is contagious. I'm gonna go with 3 lyrical pieces. Feel free to find me by Google searching my name, Matthew Discovia, MTTHEWIDESCOVIA. I hope this doesn't discourage anyone. I'm a man of many talents, you know. I could be doing this all day, but you know, I'd rather not. Anyway, let's cut it out and get to the point, right? All right. The first piece I want to share with you guys, I shared this on numerous occasions, but I just can't get enough of it because I feel like we as light workers, we have to come together to stop the evil. Since we can't fight evil with violence, we got to try to see if we can convert it or fight it with peace, even though it can be hard at times. Mare Chaos. I refuse to turn my home into a Mare Chaos. All right. Please move out of my way. My home is burning. What can we save? See, you got, as you see, we got these nations incinerate by hate. There's nowhere to escape. Constantly being dragged under the weight. What is united, huh? I've been watching nothing more except for the fall of the states. It's funny. It's always a foolish nigga that always got the most to say. This might be the final destination, but these innocent lives are not the prices to pay. The revolution will not wait. You got martial law running us all in graves. Yo, it is what it is. And I'll stand my ground and I'll speak truth in peace until the end of my days. This all seems outlandish. You got a broken evolution. You got a revoked constitution. You got terrorists and terror, war and famine. You got all treaties abandoned. Why can't we just live and exist? Where do our amendment even stand if we cannot even amend for any of the chaos that we continue, for any of this continuous sins? Lost. Sorry. Got out my note. Everything's out of orbit. You got me wondering if Earth is on a crash collision. You see, America's in debt that an infinite stadium of soul will never diminish. As you see, the casualties, that part of the mission. They're trying to conquer us all by division, you know. Protesting with violence definitely sounds tempting, but I got to compose myself because that's the only thing priority to my son's interest. And I refuse to become a contributing member to Americhaos. Just know, at the end of the day, I will make a way because I'm about that action. Next piece. You can get juiced like Minute Maid. You ain't one to run a fade. I can go off like smoke bombs, arms and flash grenades. You thinking that the scope is the one? There's too many players in this game. Close the curtains. Duke Nukem. It'll be game over before you try to get me in your play. You don't move me with your phase because I'm on a title with a title. And that movement will bring waves. Darkness will go wherever the light shines. Because I'm not moved, and I know a hater will try to throw shade. I'm not moved by your intimidation because mama raised an ambitious fool. Your validation never required. I'm comfortable in my ability to perform excellently and willingly. You're callous to my gangster demeanor. Mindset of a realistic dreamer. In your wildest dreams, staring into the sunset, mesmerized, captivated by the sun's glow, golden eyes. Every day is a mission. It takes a village to raise a hero, but what love got to do with it? Turn up like Tina, but you better be good to me. Everyone talks that tough talk, but ain't got the shoes for that long walk. Catch a vibe, you throw that ugly energy at me, I reflect it. I electrify things like I'm static. Dramatic emphasis of impact. Direct sound shattering, direct contact, sound shattering aftershock. And then there's a delay. Now, can you outsmart the fox? What did the fox even say? Reliving life as a paradox. Because Nintendo, that poem was only a fraction of explicit thoughts, more like intrusive thoughts. You can't remain imprisoned by failure of your vision if there's honor and passion in your intentions. The fire in my soul went dim, never diminished. You were a fool to believe that my light went missing. I ain't going out like that. Planet of the Apes, and you got people going bananas. You fools abuse propaganda, but if I'm on Cypress Hill, I might have to cock the hammer. Guess who's back? Say hello to my little friend. I drop bombs like I'm Tony Montana. A minute to pray, a second to die. Scarface the human race. My dark side is consumed by justice through perilous ties with genocide. Play with consequences, and your life belongs to time. Truly, for all you haters out there, man, I got a message for you all. That is if I do have any, right? But here we go. You itch me. You itch me like dandruff. You and your boys need to man up. Run up on your fed, break your legs. Now try to get up on that stage and do stand up. And if you're really about what you love, and get up there and fight for it, because you got too many out here acting like they're about it, but they ain't doing enough. But yo, me, I'm about that action. Thank you. Next poem, I'm gonna close it out. Doing this every Monday night because we wouldn't be the best open mic. You know, there is, if you ask me, in my opinion, we're like members of the Grammy in this thing up in here again. We keep this going. I love you guys. Keep making your families happy. Keep making beautiful memories. Keep doing everything overall. Just spread life and just be happy. I love you guys so much. And one thing I can tell you, I thought my boss called my name. One thing I can tell you, it's only a hard time right now. I mean, easier times are going to come later on. Trust me. It always gets worse before it gets better. Last poem. Triggered by me playing with weapons. I don't encourage any of you to do that, by the way. I was just, you know, I just had it in my system. Here we go. The game. The struggle's real. Have you ever slept on the floor? Have you worried about feds? I've been through more things that gave me a great deal of earthly sores, but nah, I've never been scared of war. Screw the rich, because they're constantly stealing from the poor. Who's scared? You scared. Who you trying to deceive? Who you gonna call? Leave. Even score. Before you bring the thunder, your DNA until it no longer exists. I make the world spin and twist. I'm like a killer. I'm a killer like Billy in Black Christmas. It's usually settled before the storm. But these fools don't want to mess with me. I don't transform. Try it if you wanna. I'll buy to transform. Because y'all been looking at me too long. That's base. What's in the trunk? Oh, nothing. It's just me. I'm just a black mage Super Saiyan. I'm armed, and my tongues can be like multiple swords. We got these fools running around just shaming the town. You living a life as a mockery. I'm about the metal, even though your boy listens to rap, but this stuff doesn't rock for me. Now, I'm not sure if this is an idiocracy, but my son holds the power to calm spontaneous J and open up silent bombs. I gotta push myself harder because living with power is no ordinary job. He has the smarts, he has the heart. I know your future will hold more than flipping pages and pushing shopping carts. Don't sell out to be a clone, and don't sell your soul for a few bones. You can become a prisoner just to your own cell phone. Be the best version of yourself and overpower any counterpart. If I gotta go big, then I'm gonna say we all live in large. My third eye always watching in the dark. I've been planning from the start, wrapped up in the mouth. You won't go that far. You softies always acting hard. I cannot afford to let down my guard, or we'll return to the place that we once did before. Nevertheless, you can't do the minimum and always be expecting more. Stay to the realest to your day ones, because the others will leave you out to dry when there's no more income. We're better than fighting over peanuts. We're better than chewing gum. Trust me, believe me, son. You got two sides of me still fighting to be number one. Nobody ever felt that fire until they got burned by the sun. Everywhere I go, my light illuminates very. Send the heartless into darkness. No villain has strength compared to my emotional bonds. Damn. I don't mean to be all nerdy and Kingdom Heartsy, but hey, if y'all ever need a Keyblade Warrior, I got your back, and I'll always be by your side fighting that darkness with you. You guys stay beautiful, stay awesome. I'm about to get back to work and close this place out. Don't play with weapons. I love you.
Yeah, man, take it easy. Take it easy, man. Discovia, everyone. Yeah, I can't say it best, man. Don't get fired for us, okay? Appreciate you tuning in. We're going to keep it going. We got more peeps, and I just want to make sure everyone gets on time there, has more time to perform. So we're going to go to Los Angeles, where we have Tesosomok next up, Chicano poet. Let's see what we got today. Tez, when you're ready, we'll get you on the mic. Welcome back, man.
All right, buddy. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, let's rock and roll. I'm going in with this piece titled genealogy of the American narcissist, racist rage. We're not born into rage, we are trained into it, raised between the rod and the television globe, between the father's hand and the state's command voice, between silence and the dinner table and noise on the evening news. It's not mystery, it's instruction. A curriculum, do not cry, do not feel, do not question. Love comes after obedience. Pain means improvement. The body is shame. The child learns to disappear so authority can live. And what disappeared does not die, it ferments. We cannot be spoken, what cannot be spoken becomes rage. What cannot be loved becomes domination. The fact begin in parliament, it begins in the nursery. A child breaks, a nation repeats. History tells us stories about monsters, but monsters are trained. A father humiliates a son, the son grows up and humiliates the world. Private shame becomes public violence. Europe exported this pedagogy, America optimized it. Here, the rod became absence, the belt became exile, not beaten every day, but just abandoned once, and that is enough. The child learns love must be earned, power guarantees love, so the adult performs strength louder, harder, again and again. Applause becomes oxygen, criticism becomes death, and the culture prepares the audience. Ta-tang, law and order. Crime is simple, punishment is clean, authority is always right. 50 years of television parenting a nation, teaching fear is entertainment, teaching punishment is. So when the rager arrives, the crowd already knows the script. Strong man, hard hand, us versus them. The brown body becomes the container for fear, for shame, for weakness. The rager cannot face. Racism becomes therapy. Superiority becomes anesthesia. The border is not geography, it's projection. He looks south and he sees the frightened child he once was and punishes it. This is why the rage feels personal, because it is. The demagogue does not want order, he wants relief, and the system provides it. Uniforms, agency, enforcement, policy is emotional compensation. The state calls it security. The body knows it's repetition, but repetition breaks, because people who survive violence learn something power never teaches: empathy. The brown oh crap. The brown body remembers hunger, remembers exile, remembers how to live without domination. We carry recipes instead of manifestos, stories instead of orders, memory instead of purity, and memory interrupts the chain. This is where the genealogy ends, not with revenge, with refusal to pass the rod forward, refusal to confuse obedience with strength, refusal to become what wounded us. The rager shouts because silence terrifies him, because empathy exposes him, because love cannot be commanded. He is a monument built over a frightened child. We are something older, soil that survived conquest, bones that remember rivers, voices that refuse to disappear. The rod becomes a whistle, the silence becomes a song, and the rage finally has nowhere else left to live. I think we'll leave it at that, Richie.
All right, thanks, man. And want to promote your stuff too for people watching right now?
Yeah, so I have a feature coming up at Cobalt Poets in LA online. It's on Zoom on March 31st. One of my essays, the essay on 21st century Chicano literary aesthetics, is going to be the main essay for the Boundless Anthology for 2026. I got a really great review out of it, so I'm really happy about that.
That's great, man. Congrats. Thanks for joining us. Awesome, awesome. All right, we're going to keep this thing moving along and we're going to go to Washington, D.C., where we got some jokes and some poems from someone who's fantastic. That's right, it's Mr. Ed Poetastic. Ed, when you're ready, take it away.
Thank you,
Ready, Eddie?
Yeah, I'm ready, Eddie. Thank you so much, my brother. Like no other words like thunder. Hello, everyone. My name is Ed Potastic. Oh, sorry. My name is Ed Potastic. Hope everyone feeling fantastic. Please give me time to go join my rhyme follicle sublime. Thank you for giving me the time. All right, I got 20 presidential jokes and 3 poems. You ready, kid?
I'm ready. I was built for this.
Yeah, that's the spirit. Which USA presidents were the greenest?
Which ones were the greenest? Huh. I don't know. Why don't you tell me?
The Bushes.
Oh. Oh, man.
What is the most unfair thing about the USA presidential election?
What is the most unfair thing about the presidential elections? Well, what is it in your opinion?
We get 50 choices for Miss America, but only 2 for president.
Yeah, that's something to consider.
What's the problem with political jokes?
I don't know. What is the problem with political jokes?
They get elected for president.
Yeah. I have to keep from crying.
Which USA president got the job online?
Which president got the job online?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Which one?
Abraham Lincoln.
LinkedIn. Yeah, that's a good one to sign up.
Which USA president starred in sci-fi movies?
Which president starred in sci-fi movies? Okay, well, we can rule out Millard Fillmore. Which one?
Ronald Reagan.
Pew, pew.
Pew, pew, pew.
God.
Why was Herbert Hoover the best president?
Oh, I'm not sure I agree with your police work there, but why was Herbert Hoover the best president in your opinion?
He gave a damn.
Man.
In what state was George Washington born?
What state?
Naked and crying, just like the rest of us.
Hell yeah.
How many senior presidential aides does it take to change a light bulb?
How many senior presidential aides does it take to change the light bulb?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. How many?
None. They're supposed to keep the president in the dark. Want to hear a politically want to hear a politically incorrect joke?
Sure, lay it on me.
President Ben Franklin walked into a bar.
Wait a minute. I think that's just regular incorrect.
Why did the 38th president dine and dash?
I don't know. Why did the 38th president dine and dash? Doing some math
He couldn't afford it.
Ah, there it is.
Why did no one attended the president's press conference at midnight?
I don't know. Why did no one attend the midnight presidential press conference?
Biden, it was too late.
Biden. Oh dear.
What is Michelle Obama's favorite vegetable?
I don't know. What is Michelle Obama's favorite vegetable?
Broccoli.
Ouch. Ouch.
Why weren't dogs allowed at the White House from 1989 to 1993?
I don't know. Why were there no dogs in the White House during George Bush's presidential term?
Sure, no problem. The Secret Service was worried they chased the qualities and pee on the bushes.
Chase the quails and pee on the bushes. Okay. All right.
Which one of Washington's generals had the best sense of humor?
Well, the actual historical answer is von Steuben, but what's your answer?
Lafayette.
Lafayette. Okay.
Sorry, Lafayette.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
a close second. That's good.
What would you get if you cross a gorilla with the 16th USA president?
A gorilla with the 16th United States president. What would I get?
Abe Lincoln.
Good grief.
Who is in charge of the kitchen remodeled at the White House?
I don't know. Who was in charge of the kitchen remodeling at the White House?
The president's cabinet.
Ah. I see.
What do you call George Washington's false teeth?
I don't know. What do you call George Washington's false teeth?
Presidentures.
Pretty clever.
How do you tell the difference between a presidential candidate and a chemistry professor?
Difference between a presidential candidate and a chemistry professor. I don't know. What's the difference between them?
Ask them to read this word aloud. Unionized.
All right.
Why did Barack Obama take all the writing instruments with him when he left the Oval Office?
I don't know. Why did Barack Obama take all the writing instruments?
Because Donald Trump was bringing his own pence. Thank you, Kit. You are a smashing hit. Hope those jokes are laughable, you folks. All right. My first poem is called Orange Crown. My painful history is stealing away my dignity. It's not my race, color and ebony grace. It's the pesky citizenships, immigrants leaving ships. This is not the dream, an asshole feeling supreme. Don't blame the voters. You could blame the stockholders. Greedy as greedy can be, making money off a travesty. He, like any crooked businessman, doing anything for his master plan. What's the point of separating families with much hatred from nationalities? What's the point of pesky tariffs? Yet he keeps avoiding the bailiffs. What's the point of being one-sided? Has your big ego been truly knighted? What's the point of being tough on immigrants? Great impudence shown by co-delinquents. What's the history of your dear grandparents? Oh, your speech is being vaguely transparent. What's the point of killing the poor Constitution by taking our contributions from the institutions? What's the point of destroying America while extremists snort inner hysteria? I'm trying to hang on to a sliver of hope. I know I'm a dope, but I'm trying to cope. Our great grandparents survived the Great Depression. I'd like to mention we survived the COVID oppression. We will strive to see his ring crumble to the ground. Then we will be the ones with crowns in front of the orange crown and clown. Thank you. Excuse me real quick. I need to close my door. Sorry about that. Ooh, sorry. Sorry about that. The other one is called out of box poem. This is called Oh My Love. Oh my love, 1,000 kisses from you is never too much. I just don't want to stop. Oh my love, um, a million days in your arms are never too much. I just don't want to stop. Never too much, never too much, never too much. I love you. How desert loves the rain. You're my glue, the coat in the pouring pain. You're my screw, the boat that keeps me sane. You're my honeydew, the fishman in my blue. You're my moon, the light in my pitch dark night. You're my balloon. You take me to better heights. You're my lagoon. You're the wind for my kite. You're my cocoon. You're the shit of my spite. You're my cartoon. You're my joyful ray of insight. How can I love you more? I can't count the ways. You fuel my blade core. You set my darkness ablaze. You're what I live for. You're the nouns of my essays. The gift I can't ignore. You're the sun from my days. You're everything that I adore. You're the swan in my ballet. You're everything than a chore. You're something I can't paraphrase. You are nevermore or furthermore. I can go on, but what more can I say? I'm here if you want to listen to more. Thank you. And my last one is called Crimson Arrow. It's tearing up my heart when I'm with you. But when we are apart, I feel it too. And no matter what I do, I feel the pain. With or without you. I'm here playing a game of drunk roulette. Oh boy, it's quite the shame. Left me river of regret and debt. It ain't about that. It's about the lovers. I need help with each other. I know you hit each other with bolts of thunder. Remember, accept, and nurture one another. This will make your days more luckier and sunnier. Can't forget about the widowers. I know you miss him or her. May you feel their warmth or whispers. They want you to live and not suffer. Remember the frigid winters and warm summers. Keep them alive. You haven't lost your color. Don't stop the buffer. You haven't lost your luster. Can't forget about the singles. Trust me, I know love isn't easy. Sometimes too hard, too breezy. Sometimes your exes are two-faced and sleazy. Sometimes I can feel queasy and sweet and squeezy. Love yourself first. Easy P, living squeezy. Love's not a word but an action. Love heals and gives deep satisfaction. Love is a needy and greedy transaction. Love's an empathetic and sympathetic attraction. Love is a big addition, not a huge subtraction. Love is a soothing and calming fraction. Love is a real interaction, not a careless distraction. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Awesome. Thank you, Ed. And hey, man, at this point, we all know the drill, man. Where can the fine people follow and support you online?
Well, you can follow me and support me online while coming to this wonderful, stupendous, potastic open mic that makes our money such a delight in the wonderful, potastic spotlight. Woo! All right. But if you want to follow me, please feel free. My Facebook is Eddie Foreman, and I'll be there because I have tons of rhyme to share. But anyway, thank you so much. Hope everyone keeps continuing to do their best and never stop spewing the words outside your chest. Now stop feeling and doing your best. And never forget you are more important than you ever know. Don't stop your glow and never stop your flow. If you don't know, now you know. I love this show. And remember, life is not a contest, so never stop being and doing your best.
Perfect. That's the best sign off ever. That's why you're Ed Fantastic as well as Ed Poetastic. Love it, man. Thank you as always for your continued contributions, man. We all need those endorphins, the ha-has, the laughs, you know? So I appreciate the jokes, the poems, the pieces. Yeah. We have up next a closer. That's right, a finisher, usually secret producer. I've heard him referred to before as an El Paso cryptid. I also use him as a litmus test. If you see him at the venue, at the event, you're at the right place. Ladies, gents, and enemies, closing out the show, we have Dan the Man. Dan, when you're ready, you can pop out of the green screen and hit us with some cool shit. Go for it. The empty chair. It's symbolic. Okay. We're gonna have to summon him, guys. We're gonna have to put our energy into a giant. Put your energy into the screens and summon Dan the Man. Dan, I'm calling you. Yo, come on, man. You gotta go to your chair. Like, you're embarrassed. Anyway, while he finds his way back to his chair, don't know what he's really doing there, because I know he knew he was up next. I want to give a shout out to everyone who tuned in today in the live chat. Thanks for coming through. When you guys are ready, catch us around town. All right, Dan, when you're ready, let's rumble.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was trying to look for my. Hang on. Yep, we all know what tomorrow is. Yep, rah, Mardi Gras. Yeah, we go to 2468. Rah, Mardi Gras is on the draw. Well, ain't no outlaw, but it's not against the law to do celebrate Mardi Gras. Yeah. Hey, I don't know. It looks like I can't see squat. Let me see what I can do here. Hold on. Oh, let me try something. Dang.
Love that you're doing all the tech shooting
looks
while
like
you're
this is-
performing.
Yeah, what luck. What luck. So much. So look like a puck. I was like, I did it for schmucks. It was like, what big luck. I can't even, man. I can't even move squat over here. Yeah. All right, this camera's for what? I don't know how to block. Yeah, so I love the squawk. Yeah. Well, the feeds it needs. It looks like, oh, there we go. It looks like Mardi Gras. It looks like, oh, no. I'm sorry. I think my cameras keeps going haywire here. I don't know what's the screen dire here. Yeah, this ain't no skirt. I'm trying to show the shirt here. I'm trying to get my camera here. I don't know what the hell's going on here. I can't do that. No. Oh well, but what feeds the needs? It looks like the beads needs to be around the neck. You know how it heeds. Yeah. So all right. So therefore, Mardi Gras tomorrow. Yeah, Fat Tuesday. Then next day, Ash Wednesday. Yeah, what can we say? What can we say? Fat Tuesday, Ash Wednesday. Today is Monday. Yeah. And Valentine's Day was last Saturday. Yeah. What can we say? All right. Okay, guys. For all the light out here with this little slightly slight. Okay, Richie, let's go ahead and call it a night.
All right, Dan, you totally threw me off guard there. That was such a sudden ending. As always, thanks for joining us, man. I'm gonna get back in the spotlight here. All right, thanks for joining us. Hey, we're here every Monday, so if you guys were watching on YouTube and want to join in, the link to sign up is always in the description of this video. Follow us on social media. There you'll be notified of all our singular events. We post a flyer for each singular event. And then, hey, come through and hang out with us. Keep writing, keep performing, keep creating. Shout out to everyone who performed today. Love you guys. We're going to have a little, as always, a little after party, a little hangout where we just hang out in the Zoom call afterwards. If you guys ever want to just join us for that, because we have had people in the past join us for that. And like, even if they were like too shy to perform, they just would hang out. So for the live stream, my name is Rich. See you guys. Hope you have a great week.